In the blistering heat of the desert, a rebellion against divine authority and human leadership erupted with a ferocity that would forever etch the names of Korah, Dathan, and Abiram into the annals of history. This was not just a revolt. It was a challenge to the very fabric of the community's existence. The stakes were high, and the consequences were dire. The earth itself opened its mouth and swallowed the rebels, their households, and all that belonged to them. It was a spectacle of divine wrath that left the Israelites trembling in fear, their murmurs of discontent replaced by a deep and abiding terror. The story of Korah and his allies is a narrative found in the book of Numbers, a part of the Hebrew Bible. It is a tale of ambition, jealousy, and the ultimate price of challenging authority. Korah, a Levite, along with Dathan and Abiram, and 250 other leaders of the community, rose up against Moses and Aaron, the appointed leaders of the Israelites. Their complaint was straightforward. If the entire community is holy, then why should Moses and Aaron hold positions of power over them? This question, at its core, was a challenge to the hierarchical structure that Moses and Aaron represented. It was a demand for equality and a rejection of the idea that leadership should be concentrated in the hands of a few. Moses, in response to this challenge, proposed a test. He invited the rebels to bring incense pans and offer incense before the Lord. The test was clear. The Lord would choose who was to be the true leader. This was not a simple matter of a political disagreement. It was a spiritual battle. The stakes were nothing less than the survival of the community and the fulfillment of their divine mission. The outcome was catastrophic. As the rebels brought their incense pans, the earth opened up and swallowed Dathan and Abiram, along with their families and all their possessions. The other 250 men were consumed by a fire that came from the Lord. The earth and the heavens themselves seemed to conspire to eliminate those who had dared to challenge the divine order. The spectacle was so terrifying that it left a deep and lasting impression on the Israelites. They were not just witnessing the death of a few individuals. They were witnessing the wrath of a God who would not tolerate rebellion. But the story does not end there. The very next day, the Israelites, who had just witnessed this divine judgment, began to murmur against Moses and Aaron. They accused them of killing the Lord's people. It was a classic case of cognitive dissonance. The people could not come to terms with the idea that the rebels had been punished by God. So they blamed their leaders. This reaction highlights the deep-seated fear and uncertainty that gripped the community. They were living in a constant state of tension, never sure when the next wave of divine wrath might strike. Moses, in a moment of desperate intercession, sent Aaron to offer incense and atone for the sins of the people. This act of mercy saved many lives, but it also reinforced the idea that the priests, and by extension, the entire Levitical system, were necessary for the community's survival. The people could not approach God directly. They needed intermediaries. This was a crucial point in the narrative, as it reinforced the hierarchical structure that Korah and his allies had sought to dismantle. To further solidify this point, God commanded Moses to perform another test. Each of the 12 tribes was to bring a staff, and Aaron's staff, representing the tribe of Levi, was to be placed alongside them. The staff that would flower and bear fruit would indicate the chosen leader. The next morning, Aaron's staff had not only flowered, but had also produced almonds. This miraculous event was a clear sign that God had chosen Aaron and the Levites as his priests. The people were left with no doubt about who was to lead them and who was to serve in the sacred roles. The story of Korah and his allies is more than just a historical account. It is a moral and spiritual lesson. It serves as a warning against rebellion and the dangers of challenging divinely appointed authority. It also highlights the importance of order and structure in a community, especially one that is on a divine mission. The Israelites, as they wandered in the wilderness, were a community in transition. They were moving from slavery to freedom, from a state of dependency to one of self-governance. This transition was fraught with challenges, and the story of Korah serves as a reminder that leadership and authority are essential for the success of such a journey. In the end, the story of Korah and his allies is a testament to the power of divine will. It is a reminder that in the face of uncertainty and fear, it is essential to trust in the guidance and authority that has been provided. The earth may open up, and fires may consume, but the community that remains steadfast in its faith and obedience will endure. The rebellion of Korah and his allies was a pivotal moment in the history of the Israelites. It was a moment that tested their faith, their leadership, and their ability to move forward together. The earth may have swallowed the rebels, but the lessons they taught continue to resonate through the ages. In the end, the story is a powerful reminder that the path to the promised land is not an easy one, but it is a path that must be walked together, with trust, obedience, and a deep respect for the divine order.